A NoMoreStinkyMonkeys.com production. My brother and I went on a road trip to the Poconos in Pennsylvania on Good Friday, 1989, to the famous Reedman car dealership. And while we drove across Interstate 80, we played a bunch of cassettes that I'd bought from the Columbia Music Record House along the way. You remember 13 albums for a penny? Well, one of the tapes was the greatest hits of this next band. I knew about almost nothing about them except their biggest hit, but I really liked the record and their hard rocking sound. That is why they are number 174, Thin Lizzy. They got their name after founder Eric Bell saw a picture of Eric Clapton reading a comic book called The Beano. He bought the sister publication, The Dandy, and after reading about a robot in the comic named Tin Lizzy, he decided that would be a good name for the band. That was also the nickname for the Model T Ford. They added the H as a joke because of how the Irish often drop the H when pronouncing th. So while they were officially Thin Lizzy, they were often called Tin Lizzy in Ireland when they were starting out. Like most Irish bands, they were started in a pub, this time in Dublin. Two members of Van Morrison's old band, called Them, met there in December 1969 and wanted to form a new group. Guitarist Bell and organist Eric Rickson then went to see this other band known as The Orphanage, which featured drummer Brian Downey and bass player vocalist Phil Lynott. After the gig, they asked him to join them, and Lynott said yes, as long as they used some of the songs he had been working on. In July 1970, they released their first single, but it was dead on arrival, selling only 283 copies. They struggled until 1972, when they were asked to play their own version of the Irish folk song, Whiskey in a Jar. They were not happy when it was released as a single, but then it went to number 6 in the British charts, and they had new life. The next several records all flopped and members started leaving. But Phil Lynott stayed on and became the leader of the band. He was the first black Irishman to have any success in rock and roll. After touring with Bob Seger and Bachman Turner Overdrive in America, they finally found the success they were looking for in March 1976 with the album Jailbreak and their worldwide hit, The Boys Are Back in Town. It was that song and the single Jailbreak that made me a fan that Good Friday on the drive with my brother. The Boys Are Back hit number 12 in America, but is still played on classic rock radio pretty much every day ever since. They are credited with being one of the first hard rock bands to use double lead guitars in their sound, much like Lynyrd Skynyrd and the Allman Brothers, and for having deeper, more story-bound lyrics than most hard rock bands of the 70s. They are a major inspiration for bands like Alice in Chains and Metallica. And if that chick don't want to know, forget her. From the Predator.